start with the actual game, the actual Alamo Bowl. My opinion, I mean, I don't know what festivities or whatever went on like during the bowl, week. But I mean, Colorado just got outplayed. Obviously, Travis Hunter did his thing. I think Shedeur struggled a little bit, especially with the offensive line struggling so bad as well. But Matt, I just want to get your biggest takeaways from this game, starting with that, and then can you also address some of the experts that have come out? So, quote unquote, experts have come out on social media, not to take shots, but I mean, I don't know. When you got Bucky responding to you, telling you, bro, what do you be talking about when it's saying it's talking about this is not Pat Shurmur's offense. This is just what we're talking about, some of the so-called experts. Matt, what do you have to say about some of this and then the game itself? Go ahead.
I don't know this guy that's on Twitter that he's fighting with or disagreeing with. I shouldn't say fight. Look, he obviously thinks that, from what I can gather here, that Shedeur is running his offense. Well, Pat is the OC, and he's the one that installs everything. And I'm just going to be blunt here when I say this. If you don't think that every good offensive coordinator, and Pat was pretty good this year, okay? They're 9-4. He has a Heisman Trophy winner at wide receiver. He fed his other receivers like crazy. Yeah, they didn't run the ball, but I don't think they tried to either. This is something we will talk about later in the show.
Yeah.
If you don't sit down with Shedeur and say, what do you like, rather than this is the box you're going to be in, you're a terrible fucking coach. Like, you're terrible. You're awful. So I would be doing everything humanly possible to maximize the athletes in the room. I really wish they would have supported Shedeur a little bit more with the run game, but
yeah,
as we went through the season and they had such a huge advantage throwing the ball on people, it's not that they didn't try and run the ball. They did at times. I think if they were more committed to it, it would have helped. But when you have a great player, a generational talent at the position, which is what he is, he's going 1 or 2 in the draft. And if it stays where it's at, if Tennessee doesn't pick him, they deserve to suck.
Facts.
And you don't say, when McDaniels isn't dictating to Tom Brady, he's asking him what he likes.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? Like Peyton Manning, Adam Gase in Denver wasn't dictating to Peyton Manning. He was asking him what he liked.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like the OC at the U doesn't dictate to Cam Ward. They ask Cam Ward what he likes, and then they go out and execute. That's what good quarterbacks, good offensive coordinators, play callers do. It's even happening now with Peyton and Bo Nix in Denver. And I know that people are pissed off because they've had 2 losses in a row, but Bo Nix is smart enough and good enough to take the constructive criticism as coaching and talk back and forth and move forward. So again, I would just, I reached out to this cat and just asked, like, are you watching all 22 or just TV copy? I don't know that. I haven't gotten a response back. I literally just did that. So I thought I'd ask that question because the all 22 shows you things that the TV copy doesn't. I would say that, yeah, it is Shedeur's offense. And Pat probably worked around Shedeur Sanders' greatness and everything he brought to the table with all those receivers. And I don't want Pat's offense. Pat's offense in the NFL was dog shit. I think he was never ranked higher than mid. Mm-hmm. And when he was a head coach, they were awful everywhere he went. And the offensive coordinating he did was usually because he had a great quarterback that he probably just worked with and said, what do you like? Yeah, it's – you know what I'm like when I'm in here, and I used to train Ryan Jensen forever from his rookie year till he got done playing.
Right.
I would coach Ryan when he was young, but when Ryan was like 6-7 years in, I'd be asking him questions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, what are you doing on this ace block? How do you hook this dude? How do you do this? How do you do that? And then it's back and forth with a good coach and a good player and your peers, and there's give and take. You know what I'm saying? Like, When I have a guy like Quinn Bailey, who's hurt this year for the Broncos, but he's a practice squad guy on and off. Yeah, I'm coaching the shit out of him, but I'm also, there's a lot of like asking him questions about how does Coach Strafe teach the tackles to vertical set in this situation, or what do you do against the screen here? I'm not saying that anybody that's talking out here and giving perspective is wrong.
Yeah,
I'm also not saying they're right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying that it's a fluid situation in a bowl game. And I thought that we talked about this. I thought that they would go out and try and fucking throw it all over the goddamn yard, and they did. They tried to do it, and it didn't work. And BYU looked at this and said, we're going to do the same thing Kansas and Kansas State did, which is just line up and bludgeon them. Facts. And it worked. The defensive line didn't show up, and they got beat up. We really missed 41 in the middle. And our offensive line, Tyler Brown is not a tackle. I love Tyler Brown. I hope I get to work with him this offseason down here at the fucking lab. We've talked a bunch, but he's not a tackle, and putting him at tackle is a disservice to Tyler Brown. So I'm not going to get mad at Tyler Brown for that. That's terrible fucking game planning, putting him at right tackle in this football game, especially going against the first team all-conference and all-American in Beatty, 92, who was eating Seton and Brown alive.
Yeah, he is unbelievable player.
So, look, Jordan Seton has a huge offseason in front of him. Get bigger, stronger, really develop into a man's body, and go show everybody that you're first pick eligible, that you're that kind of player. That's the freshman year and all the, oh, look how good the freshman, that shit's over. That you ain't a freshman no more, homie. All that fucking all the nostalgia is out the door. Who gives a shit? Is Cash Cleveland really going to be your answer at center? Because he was getting dolly-walked in the game, thrown around. They brought in this other kid to compete. They still have Zelinkus. We'll see what happens there. Are they going to find a point of attack guard? Are they going to find somebody like an Andre Gerard or a Chris Nioli or somebody, any fucking buddy, that can go in there and set the tone at the point of attack and then and really get in there with Seton and double team people out of the way and get nasty at the point of attack there? Are they going to change up their run scheme? Because now you don't have Shador anymore. Right. I don't care what Juju and Salter are not Shador. Juju's 17. He's got to develop. If he walks in and plays with his fucking dick hanging on the ground as a freshman, then all power to it. I'm for it. I'll eat crow. But I would love to see them running the shit out of the football in the future. And now they're going to have a quarterback in Salter that I'm sure will be the bridge guy and start. Unless he sucks, he'll probably be there all year. And Juju will get in and back up roles and learn how to do this. In my opinion, that's what I think will happen. Of course, I'm sure they'll pissed off some of these fucking people in the chat, but everybody's off their fucking rocker today anyway, so we got a lot to talk about. But I'm looking at it now you've got a quarterback that can really run rather than Shador who can evade.
Right. You know, Salter can really run. Yeah, he can really run it.
Yeah. So now you got to be able to institute a system where, like Georgia Tech's system, where they run 11 on 11 and the quarterback is a runner. Yeah, that's what needs to be installed now in Boulder. The offense that you saw last year is not going to be the offense you saw this year. Yeah. It's like I'm the O-line, D-line coach at Mount Vista. We just lost Austin Majeski, who was the 5A player of the year 2 times in a row. Well, we've got a really, really fucking good player coming up right behind him, okay? But he's a different kind of quarterback. He's big and athletic and fast, and he can run people over and shit. Marquise is a fucking stud, but we're not going to run the same exact offense with him that we ran with Austin.
Right.
No, we're going to change it up and get 11 on 11 and start assaulting people vertically. That's what CU needs to do here with this new guy. And then it needs to be a combination of Salter's offense and Shador's offense when Juju's in there and smash this bitch together and really go start putting people in very, very bad positions and very advantageous positions for CU, knowing that we can take advantage of certain looks with our personnel. So